Manchester City's director of football, is leaving at the end of the season. This guy has been with City since 2012 and played a big role in bringing Pep Guardiola on board in 2016. So, why is this news so important? Is he jumping ship before things go bad? But why does this news matter? Does it mean people are starting to leave the ship before it sinks? What's City being investigated for anyway? You've probably seen the comments about City and 115 charges, but what do those charges actually mean? And if they're proven guilty, what's on the line? We've got all the answers. Buckle up because this one's huge. So what happens if Manchester City loses this case? Will Pep Guardiola and Erling Haaland really leave the club? Could the champions be stripped of their hard-earned titles? These are the questions every football fan is asking, and honestly, the answers could change the game forever. Let's break it all down and see what's at stake here. After years of speculation, the independent hearing into Manchester City's alleged 115 breaches of Premier League financial regulations is finally kicking off. British media is calling it the sports trial of the century, and it's easy to see why. For the next 10 weeks, a special three-person commission is going to sift through mountains of evidence, with a verdict expected before the current season ends. That means the outcome could come right as City fights for more titles. If the decision goes against them, the fallout could be absolutely massive. Now, let's rewind a bit. Since Sheikh Mansour took over the club in 2008, Manchester City has transformed into an unstoppable force. We're talking about a club that went from mid-table mediocrity to one of the most powerful and successful teams in world football. 8 of their 10 Premier League titles have come in the last 13 seasons, and in 2023, they finally achieved what they had been chasing for so long, the Champions League trophy. That win cemented their place at the top of European football. But all that success didn't come without its share of controversy. City now faces serious accusations of bending financial rules to reach the top. Out of the 115 charges, 80 of them are for alleged breaches of financial regulations between 2009 and 2018. That's almost a decade where City is accused of playing fast and loose with the rules. The other 35 charges? Well, those are for failing to cooperate with the Premier League's investigation. If found guilty, the consequences could be catastrophic for the club: fines, points deductions, or even worse. So, what exactly are these charges about? The Premier League claims that for nearly 10 years, City didn't provide accurate financial information, which every club is required to do. This financial information includes things like sponsorship deals, player wages, and operating costs. They're accused of inflating those deals, especially with companies linked to their owners in Abu Dhabi. This allegedly made it look like City was bringing in way more money than they really were, giving them a massive advantage in the transfer market. But wait, there's more. City is also accused of hiding payments made to players and managers. For example, during Roberto Mancini's time as manager, it's alleged that he had 2 contracts, one official and one secret. The official contract was for managing City, but the secret one was for consulting a club in the UAE, which was owned by the same people who own City. That second contract allegedly paid him more than his official salary, which allowed City to show lower salary figures in their official accounts. In other words, it's like they were cooking the books to make sure they didn't break financial fair play rules, which are designed to stop clubs from overspending. Now here's where things get even crazier. This whole investigation into Manchester City didn't start because of the Premier League or UEFA. Nope, it all started thanks to a Portuguese hacker named Rui Pinto. He hacked into email accounts linked to football clubs and agents, and then a German outlet called Der Spiegel got hold of the information. That's when the bombshell first dropped. UEFA got involved first, handing City a 2-year European ban, which was later overturned. But now, the Premier League is digging deep. And this time, the stakes are even higher. What does Manchester City have to say about all this? When the charges first hit in February 2023, City responded with a statement that took many by surprise. They expressed their shock at the allegations, especially given the extensive materials they had already shared with the Premier League. City's stance is simple: they believe there's irrefutable evidence that proves their innocence, and they welcomed the independent commission's review. Basically, they're eager to clear their name and move on from this mess. So what's the deal with financial fair play, FFP? It's been a controversial topic for years, and opinions are divided on whether it's actually good for football. When UEFA introduced FFP, the goal was to stop clubs from spending way more than they earned. Michel Platini, the former UEFA president, wanted to help clubs manage their finances better. He saw too many clubs getting into serious debt, and FFP was supposed to prevent that. But it's been criticized for favoring the richer clubs, and now City's case is putting FFP under the spotlight again. If City is found guilty, the consequences could be brutal. We're not talking about just a fine here. A massive fine is likely, but that's just the start. City could face a points deduction, which would ruin their chances of winning the league this season. And if the commission decides the breaches are serious enough, there's even the possibility of relegation. Imagine that Manchester City, the club that's dominated English football for the last decade, could be playing in the Championship next season. And then there's the possibility of losing their titles. Yes, it's hard to believe, but if these charges stick, City could be stripped of their past glories. 8 Premier League titles and their historic Champions League win could be erased from the record books. It would be like the last 10 years of City's dominance never happened. For City fans, that's the ultimate nightmare. The ripple effects of this case won't just affect City, though. Rival clubs like Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea are watching this case closely. Many of them believe City should face serious consequences if found guilty. Stripping City of their titles isn't enough for some. They want to see points deductions or even relegation. For them, this case is about more than just punishing City. It's about ensuring that the rules are applied fairly to everyone. And what about Guardiola and Haaland? Both of these guys are at City to win trophies. If City faces serious sanctions, there's a real chance they won't want to stick around. Guardiola has always defended the club's innocence, but if they're found guilty, could his trust in the club be shaken? Haaland, the hottest striker in world football right now, could easily be snapped up by another top European club if City is banned from European competitions. As for Guardiola, he's been vocal throughout this whole saga. He believes City is completely innocent, and he's looking forward to the case finally being resolved. In a recent interview, he said, "I'm happy it starts on Monday, and we're going to see." He stressed that this legal drama isn't affecting the players, saying, "Erling is not a lawyer, so we didn't talk about it for him. It's all about focusing on football." But the outcome of this trial could change everything for City's future. If City wins this legal battle, it could weaken FFP's grip on European football. But if they lose, it could strengthen FFP and lead to stricter punishments for clubs who break financial rules. So what do you think will happen to Manchester City? Will they get hit with a massive punishment, or will they find a way out like before? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest updates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.